Hi there everyone. So here we are with our final Christmas craft before it's time for the big man himself next week. So what are we going to do this week? This week I was thinking about our Christmas dinners, and when we sit around the table, one of the traditions that there are is that we pull crackers, and inside the crackers is usually a little hat that everybody puts on. And I thought we can do better than that. So I thought we could make our own hats that we can wear perhaps around the Christmas table when we're having our Christmas dinner. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I'm going to be modelling some now. Here's one that I made earlier. There you go. Ho, ho, ho. That's my Santa hat that you can make. Or perhaps you fancy being one of Santa's little helpers. You might fancy being an elf. There you go. So there's my elf hat, looking rather cheerful, very festive, red and green. Or I thought maybe we'd like to be a reindeer. A certain reindeer. I have to bob down a bit, you can see his antlers. There you go. There's Rudolph with his antlers on top and his very red nose. So there's that Rudolph hat. Or perhaps you might want to make a snowman hat to wear around the table. So let's have a look and see in a little bit more detail how to make them. They're really not too hard to do, but I will show you with the Santa hat because that's probably the easiest one to make. So what you need to do first, you'll need some card. Now paper's not much good for this. It does really have to be card because it has to be stiff enough to stand up when you're putting it on. And what I've done, I just happen to have a load of cards, all different colours, but it's white on the back. And what you need to do, you need to make a band to go around your head. So I cut a strip along the long end of the card, but that still wasn't big enough for my head. So I had to cut another strand of that piece of card. You see this is the yellow card that I've used. And I'm going to put these two, I'm going to stick these two together. Now you can use glue or whatever, but I've got double-sided sticky tape just because it's easier and quicker to do for you guys that are watching. So I've just simply put a little blob of the tape on one end and stick on that. So I've now made a much longer strip. Now my head isn't that big. It's quite big, but not quite that big. So what I need to do now, and you might need to get your grown-up to help you with this, you might be okay with just one piece of card, but I know I needed a couple. So you measure around your head and you have to leave a little bit over so that you've got an idea of how big your loop needs to be. And then you can cut off the extra. So I've allowed a little bit of an overlap there to allow me to put some tape on. So here we go again, another piece of double-sided tape. And we pop it on the end, peel the backing off, and then I'm sticking the other piece on to make a loop. So now I've made a loop with the white on. Now when I've looked at it, my two joins are fairly close to one side of the circle, if you like. So I'm going to put that into the back so that you won't see the join when it's on my head. You'll just see the front. So there, you can see I've just got a plain white band. Now you might want to make just a crown or something similar to that and just decorate that as it is. But if you fancy making a Santa hat, you see there's the white band on the bottom that actually looks like the white fur bit that Santa wears. So now we need to make the red cap bit on the top. So if I just move all my other ones that are sat over here. So what colour's Santa's hat? I don't think it's green. I don't think it's orange. No, it's red. So I've got a nice big piece of red card here. So what I want to do is make a hat shape. So because it's quite hard working with a big piece of card like this, I'm just going to cut this a little bit smaller. Like so. And I'm going to cut it about that big. That's just a rough guess. The idea, that's about the size that my hat needs to be. Now the shape I'm going to cut out the hat, I want it to look as if he's got a bit of a pom-pom. Well, it has got a bit of a pom-pom, but I want to show it like it's hanging off. So I've cut to go over to one side, and then I'm going to cut a little bit where the pom-pom would hang, but then I'm going to cut it down to the edge. So you're left with like a hat shape. That's going to form the main bit of the Santa hat. The next thing you need to do, if you remember the other week we had some cotton wool balls. So I've got myself a cotton wool ball here. Now again, you can use your glue stick to glue it on, but just for the video, I'm using good old double-sided tape again. So I've put a blob on the end where the pom-pom is going to go. Well, the cotton wool ball, I should say. So I want to put that on, and you want to make it look nice and round and flat, a bit like a snowball. And I'm pressing it down really hard so it sticks on really well. So there you can see I've got that. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of tape, again you can use glue, right across the bottom at the front, because we need to glue that, or stick that now, onto our loop. So you remember I said that that was going on the front, so I know I need to put my hat on that side, and I'm going to very carefully just position my hat and stick it in. Now I want to get it fairly near the base, but I don't want to get it so that it's showing underneath. So if you can see there, I've stuck that hat shape with the red on the outside. And there you have it. There's my Santa hat, all ready for my Christmas dinner. I think it's rather jolly, this. I don't know anybody that will be able to keep a straight face if they've got one of these on. So just to show you the few variations now. Now the elf hat is very, very similar. But what I did here, I made a deeper green band for my head, but then I cut out some spikes, you can see, for the elf hat. Now you can always curl the little spikes down a little bit, just to make it a little bit 3D, like so it sticks out a bit. And then I got some green card and stuck some stripes on the red shape, and this time the red shape just goes up like a cone, and I put some green card on the end, and that was the elf hat. So I think that looks pretty cheerful as well. So that's another easy one to do, the elf hat. Now then, the snowman and the reindeer were very similar, just using different colours of card. This time, when I cut out the loop, on one of the loops I cut a circle or a semicircle for the shape of the head, whether it was the reindeer head or the snowman. Now for the snowman I could just make it straight across at the top, and for the reindeer I added 2 ears on first. And then you need to put a big orange circle for the carrot. Now because you're looking straight on at the snowman, you're kind of seeing the carrot as if you were looking at it straight on, so that's why it's a circle and not the pointy nose. And a nice smiley face, and then I added a little bit of holly onto his hat. And again, just so that he makes a nice cheerful smile. Now you might have to measure a few heads if you're going to decide that, I don't know, one of your grown-ups is going to be the snowman. You need to make sure that it's going to fit onto their head. And then, as I say, with the reindeer, I just got some lighter coloured card to make his nose. Now this has to be Rudolph because he's got a big red nose, and the inside of his ears. And then the antlers, I put 2 pieces of card on top of each other like we did the other week, cut the one shape, and then when you split them, you've got 2 exactly the same. So that was the reindeer one. So that's it, guys. Have fun making those. You might get some designs even better than that. I'd love to see them. I'm going to put my Santa hat on to say goodbye for this year. There we go. Whoops. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and I can't wait to hopefully see you in the new year, and then we'll come back and we'll see what we start with next year. So have a super time, guys. I hope you have a lovely, lovely special time with your family and you get pretty much what you ask for. Okay, have fun, guys, and Merry Christmas. Bye.